Saturday, Christmas comes early.
Unbelievable! Welcome to this incredible scene.
Bills.
To the end zone!
Chargers.
It's a touchdown!
An exclusive NFL game.
That's fantastic!
Live in primetime.
Wow!
Only on Peacock.
With a Christmas gift to their fans. They're having some fun now.
Bills versus Chargers. Saturday, 7:30 Eastern. Exclusively on Peacock.
This episode is brought to you by Google Pixel, the official fan phone of the NBA and WNBA. The new Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro are built different. How? Take the Audio Magic Eraser tool. It helps block out distracting crowd noise so your play-by-play commentary sounds crystal clear. The only phone engineered by Google brings out the audio you care about so your videos sound as crisp as they look. Learn more at googlestore.com/pixelnba. Audio Magic Eraser requires Google Photos app. May not work on all audio elements.
'Tis the season to shine with H&M. Discover the holiday collection and find fashionable pieces for your wardrobe or for under the tree. Get inspired and dazzle with this year's glam. From tuxedo styles, bow detailed pieces, impressive prints, and more. From unforgettable looks to unforgettable gifts. With fashion finds to home decor, find it all at H&M. Treat your loved ones and yourself this season. Shop in-store or at hm.com.
Reboot your credit card with Apple Card, the credit card created by Apple. It gives you unlimited daily cash back that you can now choose to grow in a high-yield savings account that's built right into the Wallet app. Apply for Apple Card now in the Wallet app on iPhone and start growing your daily cash with savings today. Apple Card subject to credit approval. Savings is available to Apple Card owners subject to eligibility requirements. Savings accounts provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC. Terms apply.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Keeping Current with Kansas City. I have Alex Loera. Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah, it's Loera, but that's okay. It's difficult.
That's hard for this little Missouri guy to say sometimes, so I apologize.
No, that's okay. You could say like Luetta, like with a D. Luetta.
Really?
Yeah.
How's a D get in there?
Well, because you're supposed to roll your R, but if you can't roll your R, then it's like Luetta.
Oh, I've actually been working on my Spanish, but it's terrible, so I'm not going to.
Okay.
I can read it sometimes. To start off, how's spring training been?
Yeah, no, it's good. I think what we did and what we built in IMG is a really solid foundation, and then to come back here into our own facility, our own locker room, own weight room, I think that obviously helps with connecting everything that we learned in IMG to here, and just kind of really puts it in reality that like season's about to start. Like we're in full gear now, so it's been really good.
And speaking of weight room, if you can hear any background noise, we're right above the weight room, so everybody's down there like lifting weights.
They're working hard.
You can hear noise and music, and it's kind of entertaining. I think I can pick up people's yells down there.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
I think that was low a while ago.
I'm sure you can.
The team obviously did really well last year. Well exceeded, I think, expectations at the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. Made it to the final. Added a lot of players in the off season. Is there an expectation now that you guys have to go back to the final and win it, or?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the expectation and the standard that we hold for ourselves, knowing that now we are a championship caliber team. I think that's just lit this fire inside of us, that we know that we belong on that stage and in that light. And so every day coming to training, just having that mentality of a championship culture, a championship team. Obviously we would like to find ourselves back in that position and get a different result. So we're just working really hard to get there. Not really putting that much pressure on ourselves because we don't want to start off that way. So we're just really, finding out each other's tendencies, new players, like incorporating them, just getting to know them. So that would be a great second run for us.
Oh, it would be amazing, and I mean, I'm sure it's going to happen, right?
Yes.
Added a bunch of free agent veterans and people from overseas. Just, I guess, it helped raise the level.
Yeah, it's so nice when you have people on your team that come from different backgrounds, like the newbies, and then we have people that are international. We have Deb, we have just V, and all these people that are so experienced in the league and just can can come here and provide us with their leadership and their knowledge. And then obviously we have internationals that can come here and kind of incorporate their playing style. And so I think it's just really awesome to have different backgrounds and different experience levels on the team.
Who's maybe been the biggest challenge to go up against now in training?
There's too many. I'm like, there's way too many. But obviously one fun new one is Deb, because she's just so cheeky and you never ever know what she's gonna do. So just trying to defend her is a challenge. But I'm glad it's now other teams have to defend her, and we get to get better in practice by defending her. So it definitely has its perks trying to defend her.
All right. So actually, obviously Davinia is one of the most skilled players, but who's the best at banter out there?
Oh, Lo. She's not gonna run her mouth like no other.
Okay, besides Lo, we figured that. Are you?
Sure.
You got to be in the top couple, don't you?
I would say if someone starts it with me, then I'll chip in a little bit here and there. But yeah, in training, I don't know. I think Lo kind of just brings it out of everybody, and yeah. So I don't know if I can really think of anybody else that's to that level.
If you can't think of anybody else, then it's you.
That's probably true.
Has there ever been an opponent you've really liked to just talk trash to? Not trash, but talk to?
I don't think so. I don't think I know anyone well enough in the league to start that. Obviously, Maria Sanchez and I went to Santa Clara together for a couple of years, so when she got a yellow in the Houston, I think there's literally a picture of me pulling the card out and holding an imaginary card out to the ref, and so then after the game I just kind of went up to her and was like, hey, how'd the yellow feel? And she was like, F you, just that kind of stuff is funny. But just obviously knowing her from Santa Clara, we have that background, so I feel comfortable enough with her.
All right, we mentioned Lo earlier, and she was all the goal celebrations last year, and everybody started buying into it. You got a couple goals last year. Do you have that celebration planned?
I don't, but I'm going to plan them. I just think I don't score that often, so when I do score, just the celebration goes way out of my head. I don't even think about it. I'm just so excited. So even if I do have one, I can't promise you that you'll see it.
Well, we'll have to, but last year you scored one in the Challenge Cup,
yeah.
like the fifth game in or something like that, and then one big one in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That one in the Challenge Cup, I think it was from 22 yards out. It was just a banger. Yeah. And then the one in the playoffs, I mean, you just overpowered the keeper. You just put it right through her.
Yeah, no, that one, I think you can see it in the video. I'm just bouncing on my feet waiting for the ball to pop out, and then obviously it did, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna shoot it. And it was really cool because my family, my whole family was there for that game, so just to score my second goal, first during regular season, and having them there was definitely a special moment.
When you get that goal, do you go back to coach and say, hey, you need to put me forward, let me start higher up the field?
Oh, I tell him that all the time. I'm like, Matt, let me go. When we do crossing and finishing or something during training or a shooting drill, usually the defenders will break off and we'll go focus on whatever we need to, and then the attackers will shoot. And I'm like, Matt, I'm in the front, right? I'm going over there. So I always do have a little jokes with him about letting me go and shoot.
Where's your sweet spot to shoot from? Is it from the 22 yards out, or is it from inside the 6?
Honestly, it seems because even when it happened in college, most of, if not all, my goals were from far out. So I don't know, it just seems that is my special spot.
That's because they don't let you be the 9, right? If you're the 9, maybe you're getting it inside.
Right. We have better 9s to do that than me.
Yeah, but we got to see. So.
Yeah, you're right. They got to put me up there.
They got to prove themselves as a better scorer than you.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's got to be a setup play now, as they just play it back out to you outside the box.
I'm fine with that. Give me all the shots. I'm fine.
Next time I get coach on one-on-one, I'll ask him that.
Please do.
Although that might backfire. all this music down below. I've always wondered, like, if you ever watch.
Exponentially gotten better since the coach and the
Oh,
staff
boy.
are,
She wants you to put her forward.
Yeah, put me at the 9.
yeah, I'm sure she does.
I don't know if you couldn't hear her, Coach Potter just stepped in and harassed my guest in a good way. All the music downstairs had me thinking in professional wrestling, if somebody subs or not subs in, but comes into the ring, there's like their intro music. If you don't start a game and you're going to sub in, what would be your intro music? Like you come running through the stands, Alex.
I honestly have no idea. Like, so many times people are like, what's your walkout song, or what's your, and I don't know. I'm not very good with music. Like, obviously I like to listen to it, but I am not like, this song is written by this person, this is the name of it. Like, I could probably tell you the name of like 5 songs, but I know more than that. I just don't know the names. So I don't really know. I'll have to think about that one.
That's kind of funny because I'm kind of similar way. We're listening to Sirius XM in the car, and I look over. I'm like, I know the artist, but I don't know the name of that song.
Yeah.
And it starts, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
My wife laughs at me a lot of times. She's like, you know this song? I'm like, no, I don't. Oh yeah, okay, you're right.
There it is.
Yeah. She's right again.
We're always right.
Pretty much. Right. I guess, with how well you guys finished last year, and going into this year with new additions, and then the stadium next year, all this things going on, all the positive stuff. I guess I'm sure you get asked the same question all the time, but what's that excitement level? Can it even be described?
Yeah, it's just, honestly, it's overwhelming to see how many things are going so right in our direction. And obviously that starts with our management and our ownership. They just have this idea and perception of what women's sports needs to be, and they're doing it. And so just to have people like them in our, like guiding us and like paving the way for us, it's incredible. And I think it's something that we can't take for granted, because not everybody else gets this. And so it's just, it's this overwhelming sense of being blessed, just, so much joy around the club. So there's just so many things going right for us, and I can't wait for even more to come.
You ever talk to some of the, I don't want to call them old, but the veterans who have been here since the beginning and, played in little bitty, recreation parks more or less, and, crap, not quite quality practice fields? I was going to say something else. Do you ever talk to them about how far that journey has come?
Yeah, I think last year there was just kind of a moment for me when Kristen Edmonds, like when the facility got, I think it was even when our first tour of the facility, Kristen Edmonds, like, I forget who she turned to, but she turned to somebody and was like, this beats the shed that we were in New York long ago. And I'm like, you guys were in a shed? And she was like, yeah, that was our locker room, was a shed just off the side of the field. And I'm like, that is insane. So to see how far this league has come, it's just incredible, and I'm just very lucky to be coming in when I am.
One of those veterans, I think I've heard you say before how much you loved and learned from Des, and she's injured right now, and I'm not sure when she'll be back, and we'll figure that out with Coach at some point. But how much have you learned from her, and how glad are you that they brought her back this year because she was a free agent?
Yeah, Deb is one of a kind. Des is one of a kind. You can never replace a Des. Just the energy she brings, her attitude, she just has this look on life, so positive. Even when things aren't going right, she looks for the positive, and I think that's kind of the thing that I've learned from her the most, is just like, even if your situation isn't ideal, like right now, she still is hyping everyone up, like always smiling, always laughing, and so I think just her mindset is very contagious on this team, and so to bring her back as like it's a no-brainer for me just to have her around. And obviously she finds herself in a different role right now than last year, but she exceeds every expectation. And so just having her on her team, it's like we win just having her on our team.
Do you see yourself as a little bit like her in that regard?
I definitely could get better at, if having a good mindset. Like, I feel like I do. It's just at times I can get a little stuck. But just to even have her on the team and reminding me, even if I look at her and I'm like not having the best practice and I just look at her, it's like, like change your mindset, help others. Like if you're not performing, what can your voice do? And so just uplifting. So I think it's, and in some aspects I do, but obviously there's always room for growth. So yeah.
There was a practice last year towards the end of the season, and you guys were practicing penalties. Coach said I wasn't supposed to mention that you were actually practicing penalties, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I figure it's safe now, because not that teams don't practice penalties going into playoffs.
Right.
But I think after your team, every shot that every person on your team, you went out and met them, or said something to them. I don't even know if you knew you were doing it, but maybe you did. But you were like the hype person. You were that hype person.
Yeah. No, I think especially in those moments, just because there's. Like, to me, for some people, PKs are nothing. Like, they're the bread and butter. It doesn't matter. But for me, they are so nerve-wracking for me. So just, like, celebrating whenever anybody scores them, I think is super important. And even if they miss, just celebrating them, even for having the courage to go take one. So, yeah, that's just kind of my perspective on PKs.
Cool. I don't want to keep you too much longer. Well, actually, I could probably talk to you for another hour, but I won't be able to talk to you again if I do that. So, is it, I guess, like any just last thoughts on, maybe anything you want to say to Kansas City, or, any threats you want to give to the rest of the league? I mean,
I don't know about that one, but I do just want to say, like, we are so grateful to be here in KC. I think just the fans last year, even with that being my first year, the fans exceeded every expectation that I had. I don't even know what I was expecting, but they were absolutely incredible to see little girls, young women in the stands, and afterwards asking and wanting our signature. I think it's just so special that I didn't have that growing up in Colorado. I wasn't able to go to a professional women's soccer game. So obviously I went to the men's, but to see professional women in your hometown, I think that holds something so special. And to be able to be one of those players for these younger women, it's just, I just can't thank them enough for coming out and supporting us. That way we can help, pave the way for the younger ones and the kids, and even young boys who get to come out. Like, it's just, our fans here, I know it is like everybody says this, but truly I think we have the best fans, both to us and to our opponents. And so I'm so excited for this season. I'm so excited for all the fans to see everybody, the Blue Crew. Like, it's just gonna be a really good season, and I'm glad we're getting it started.
I'm old. I've watched MLS since before MLS existed. Watching NWSL now, when there was a team here before and now, and just seeing the growth, comparing it to what watching the men's league do, and it's very exciting to see that. And it's there was people who had to suffer in order to get to the next thing, and the next thing, and each generation, I guess, of every, I guess a generation of soccer players is just a few years, but it's exciting to watch, players like you come out and have a place to play and a chance to shine. So
yeah, no, I completely agree. It's just coming out every day and being grateful that, we have our own fields. Like, we have 3 of our own fields, and, back then people didn't even have one. So I think it's just realizing and showcasing all the battles that the vets have had to overcome to get us to where we are, and we're not done yet. Like, we have come so far, but there's still so far to go, and to be a part of that generation now that pushes for even more, I think that is very special to me. And I just take that very seriously. So to make sure that we keep going forward is very important.
Cool. Thank you for joining me.
Yes, thanks for having me.
And we are out.